these opportunities, they don't come a lot, around a lot, and you might as well just take them as they come and just see what happens.
Well, not only are they putting a potential good, excellent Irish athlete on the bike, they're putting an engineer who understands aerodynamics and who can probably feed into the program as well. Because it's one thing having the athlete, but when your athlete can talk about the science and give feedback on the science, they can build better products. So all in all, I think you're a pretty solid investment. I wouldn't have much imposter syndrome with this one. I think it's a sure thing, but it's absolutely amazing. And in terms of, obviously, you've got a very fragile bike. One of the things that scares most people with expensive bikes is the old transitioning from turbo trainer to the road. Do you have a particular setup for the turbo indoors? Do you put this spaceship on the turbo? Do you just keep it for the big days? What way does it work?
So it's summertime now. As much as it rains here, I will not stay inside. I hate the turbo so much. Oh my God. So I do have a road bike that stays on the turbo. But if like as soon as it's like maybe the start of February, out in the road. Absolutely. I can't hack it. I used to be quite good for the start, but like if I get any chance, I would rather get pneumonia or risk maybe falling off my bike, which I have done already. I have aeroplaned, but I would just rather not be on the turbo. When I see people doing like their 5 hour, 6 hour turbo sessions, absolutely not.
That's
No.
all he does.
I am a fair weather athlete, and we do not have fair weather. Coming up to my Ironman, I did 6 hour cycle followed by an hour and a half run in the rain, and it was the most miserable hour and a half I've ever had.
No.
But it's yeah, I just didn't mind it. I didn't mind the turbo at all. And yeah, everyone says you're nuts. And 6 hours on the turbo, they say was the equivalent of some other crazy number. But to
That's
me, it was
basically
just
12 hours. I think it's double.
well, anyway, that just shows the stupidity that's on this side of the interview. But the so obviously you're getting the sponsorship. It is a nice feeling to be recognized. And a lot of the people we have on here are fantastic athletes and we're in a world full of really good athletes and it's difficult to stand out. So those feelings, like you said, of having those Olympic aspirations and now being picked up by a team who want to see how far you can go, that has to be exciting though, is it?
Oh yeah, yeah. And like it's yeah, in terms of sponsorship, like I'm very lucky that I have the likes I've Roca Sports, I've the Hub, um, I've Active Iron, all these kind of people again who are believing me in me. And like it was kind of funny when I kind of started off being like, kind of putting myself out there. Like I do love a good bit of social media. I like making reels, I like a bit of TikTok. I did the social media for UL as well. So I do kind of like making content. A lot of people kind of found it a bit strange, and I can kind of see that as well. Like I feel like I can be a bit, I don't want to say a bit too much, but I can, I like to chat and like to put stuff out there, I like to post and all that kind of stuff. But like I'm not gonna wait around for opportunities to find me. Like I'm gonna make it easier for opportunities to find me, and if that has to be putting up some cringy social media stuff, like this sport isn't as accessible as it probably should be. But if I have like if I can get gels, if I can get a nice suit, if I can get anything like that and make it a bit more accessible for myself, I don't see how that's a bad thing. And I've gotten some great opportunities. I met some great people and got to work with great people as well and great brands. So it definitely does help, and it just makes it a bit more exciting.
It's
How long?
something we felt, even for me with the podcast for a long time, myself and Sean just, we still kind of go, "Ooh, do we really release a podcast every week that people listen to?" And I think it's probably an Irish thing. And I think that's
Yeah.
where probably a lot of our athletes get left behind because the Americans have no problem. They all champion each other and reels for days. They get picked up 100,000 followers here and that. And they're reaping the rewards.